Podcast day, a baby Billy Blossom. How the hell have you been? And more importantly, where the hell have you been?
Will you just press play on the episode, please? Okay, yeah. I've got a doctor's appointment in 6 hours. I have to be awake for.
Wait, and then did I actually hit that on the beat? Actually,
sounded like it.
Did it? Okay, I have only one headphone in. I've been podcasting like a professional for the past 2 episodes, which is good, but I could also barely hear shit.
Yeah.
Or
that is a drawback. Okay.
Or the beautiful intro song by Slow Smog.
Well, it's fine. It shouldn't make any difference to the usual quality of the show, considering you talk over me constantly anyway. So that's fine. It's perfect.
Sorry, I couldn't hear any of that.
My God.
I've actually started wearing my headphones to where both of them are not on my ear.
Oh.
I'm kind of wearing them back here. I think that's the most professional thing I can do.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching you on cam and like...
I'm adjusting a lot is what I'm doing.
Waiting till your lips stop moving and then just saying whatever I want to say.
Yeah. I just... When your lips move, I push them back.
Oh.
And then when your lips stop moving, I come back and I say, beautiful intro by Slow Smog. That's slowsmog.com. slowsmog.bandcamp.com, or for those feeling brave, slowsmog.org, right?
.org. In my opinion, the best domain extension.
Yeah. Though it's not actual, is it? Really?
What do you mean it's not actual?
It's kind of a faker. It's a redirect.
But what? Yeah, I guess so.
You could have built the site twice. You could have paid for 2 Squarespace accounts. I'm so afraid to tell Slow Smog to do anything because I'm afraid of the possibility that he'll do it, or that he'll actually spend money to do something just for a simple podcast bit. Speaking of the podcast, this is one that you're listening to right now. Welcome to All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
My name is Billy. We are going to answer some emails.
You said we're going to email? Is that what you almost said?
We're going to answer some
I saw your lips
emails.
move. In the shape of an E.
Stop.
What's your doctor's appointment
lips,
for tomorrow?
Please. What? Why would you ask me this? Why would you ask me this on the show?
I think the answer's hot. I think the answer's a little hot is all.
Yeah, it's to get my contraceptive implant removed from the tissue underneath my arm.
Don't.
But get a new one put in.
Get a new one put in. That's what I'm talking about.
Get a new one put in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why?
Just want to remind everyone
What's
that.
Interesting about that?
Sorry. Remind everybody that I've had sex.
Yeah, my girl's chemically castrated herself.
That's right,
That's
baby.
right.
To the convenience of me. I don't want a kid, but I also don't want to wear a condom or pull out. Can I get some high fives? Bam! From Chad. Bam! From Peter. Sorry, I didn't tell you I was hanging out with my bros right now.
Oh my God. They're all just out of frame, laughing and having fun.
That hurt my hand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they are frail and soft little things.
Well, it's
you do
more
have the hands of a painter and an artist.
Yeah.
Well, they're cleaner than a painter and gentler than an artist.
Uh-huh.
What do you have the hands of?
I
guess a man who's just had his hands in lotion for his whole life, not moving.
Like I wear one of those. Yeah, I sleep in gloves that are full of lotion every night, you know?
Don't say that. I had to do that when I had my horrible spate of allergic blistering eczema.
Yeah, that was funny.
It wasn't funny.
So that's gone now? Let me see your hand on camera really quick. Those are normal hands.
Almost.
One of them's barely even gross. Look at that. Like, if I was just passing you on the street, I wouldn't, like...
Cross the road.
Well, I wouldn't, like, do a rude double take, you know? like I was staring at a freak. Boom, like that, you know? I would probably not even notice.
Anyway, when I went to sleep, I had to wear white cotton gloves to keep the lotion on my hands, and I felt like a mime. Every time I went to bed,
I felt like Mr. Mime.
I either had to start doing like the pretend glass routine, or what's another good one? Pulling the rope, walking down the stairs.
Yeah.
All good mime routines.
A little elevator, boop, and then you start going down.
Perfect.
That's a classic one.
Yeah.
We have 3 questions for the show. This is an advice podcast. This is an email reading podcast, if you will. And every episode we pick 3 emails. from you, the listener, to write in your little kosher conundrums for us to answer on the show. And we do our darnest to do at least an okay job at giving some type of perspective to whatever, I don't know, non-issue you're having. The fucking pandemic, people are writing in like, I'm sad. It's like, yeah, dude, me too. Same.
Yeah. How do you think I feel? I've got to get a new contraceptive implant and can't even have sex. My boyfriend's in a different country. Stop high-fiving.
Chad right there. And oh my god, I didn't even know my boy Brian was right over there.
Speaking of emails, actually, let's give our email address at the start of the episode so that people get to the end of the episode, they turn it off before we say what the email address is.
We do desperately need emails right now.
Email us, please. Do it. We want to read them. We want to get them. We want to read them to each other. We want to read them on the show. We want to ridicule you publicly, but anonymously, so no one will know that it's you.
We are officially running low on emails. So consider us desperate.
Consider us coming to you on our hands and knees right now, begging like a pauper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm groveling. And I'm like pleading. You to send me an email.
Please. Yeah. Our email address is all the space in between at gmail.com.
Again, that is all the space in between, just the name of our show. Nothing fancy about it, except how fucking good the name is. But kind of inconvenient for an email. It's quite long.
It's a little bit long.
All the space in between at gmail.com. Send us an email. We would love to receive that email. We would love to read the question of the show. And you actually do have a doctor's appointment to get a contraceptive put in. So,
I do, yeah.
You can't hear it because the microphone is very... I'm going to level this in a way so you can't hear all my bros cheering in the background.
Yeah.
But every time I give them a little high five, they do go... I don't know what men say. They do go... Oorah.
They're Marine friends.
Yeah, well, I met him on base, yes.
Your friends are Marines?
Well, of course I'm in Oceanside, dude. Camp Pendleton's right there. Of course I met him on base. Names like Chad and Brian.
One of the times... I swear we'll answer the question soon. But one of the times I came to visit you and they held me in immigration and started asking a bunch of questions about you. Very personal ones.
Yeah.
Intimate, physical details.
Did they ask about... Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to derail your question. They didn't ask about my pancake ass, did they?
It might have come up.
Might have. Yeah, I showed them a pic, actually. They're like, what's this on your phone? A pancake stapled to a wall? No, that's fortunately...
That's my boyfriend.
It looks like someone
that's my love.
Dropped a pancake kind of at a barber shop and then stapled it to a wall.
Loose hairs on the floor.
No, unfortunately, that's what I'm working with here. Yeah, that's so tragic. Yeah, it's like, who is this? Like, someone doing their best Hank Hill impression from that one episode.
Works on the tiny little house.
You were saying.
Anyway, they're asking a lot of questions about you, and they're like, so where's he live? And I was like, down near Oceanside, and they were like, oh, Camp Pendleton way, and I was like, yeah, and they were like, he's in the Marines, and I was like,
oh, no.
And they're like, he's in the military, and I was like, no, sir.
You can only do 6 push-ups, dude.
He's a musician, if you can believe
Imagine
it.
the polar opposite.
He's a poet.
Yeah.
Anyway, they got a kick out of that. They're like, he makes money doing that? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Weren't they also asking a whole bunch of stuff too? Because they didn't really understand like the digital landscape of being kind of like a mogul as myself. They didn't like
so he's going on tour. I was like, no, he's not going on tour.
No.
You're going on tour with him? Like, no, I'm not. We're not going on tour. Then how does he?
This is money laundering. Then this is money laundering. I think.
If he's not in the army and he's not on tour, then what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, that's all I do. Is I go to I do service, or I go to a show on the weekend.
Yeah, what the fuck else is there to do in Oceanside? Anyway, should we start reading our emails?
Yeah, didn't I swear and promise to you that I would read the first one?
You did say that. You did. It's true.
I'm using my new interface that I was boasting and crowing about during the last episode. The one that was supposed to come in the mail that day, and it didn't. It came the next day.
Okay. How is it?
I like it. I love it, actually. I really, really love it. Well, I'm not actually really using it right now because I'm using a USB microphone. So I'm not using it to record, but I am using it to listen to you right now.
It seems unnecessary.
Yeah. It's good.
All right.
I could just plug the headphones directly into this Rode mic, but you've noticed that this has like the most insane preamp that we've ever, like, you turn like the headphones up to like to 1 and it's like distorting.
Yeah.
This thing can power like any ohm, I feel like, in any headphone. This is like the most powerful preamp I feel like is in this.
It's just in this shitty microphone that we're using.
Anyway, people would love us to continue to talk about that, but unfortunately we have a show to do. Oh, we didn't put all 3 of the things in the email thing?
Yes, we did.
We did, and I needed to refresh, and now it's there.
Yeah. How dare you accuse me of not organizing our emails properly in their structured folders?
A lot of interesting topics coming up on this episode that people would love to. It's a good thing people fall asleep. Also, I must tell you, I forgot which one was the first one. Is it the one called...
Whatever one you feel like, baby.
A pickle but make it cruelty-free?
Sure.
Was that the one, though? Was that the one that we decided?
I think it was the one.
Okay. Sorry.
Why not?
I don't
it's
like
to.
I like to do everything by the book.
Okay.
The military taught me that. This one, this one is called A Pickle, but make it cruelty-free, and it goes. Hello, Mitch and Billy. I don't want to say too much about the specifics of my pickle for fear that the person it concerns will one day hear this, but I feel you may have some advice on this. How do you deal with preachy vegans who are maybe a little too far up their own ass? Thanks, this person's name. So, I am an ex-vegan.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an ex-preachy vegan, really.
An ex-preachy vegan, actually, yeah.
And you are a current vegan.
I'm a current vegan, yeah.
Were you ever very preachy about it?
I don't know, probably.
We were all young.
I don't know, I don't know, maybe at some point. Not particularly. I'm never, like, talking about it too much online or anything.
I did.
We're making entire blog posts, or there's like a
I did a lot
on
of
your
Facebook
Tumblr. I remember there's
too.
There's just an audio post of you talking for a straight half an hour about it, just like a podcast that you did that was just about
Oh,
do you remember it?
No.
Yeah, someone like sent you an ask, and you were like, "There's too much to type out, so I'll just record a podcast."
So let's start with why PETA is not actually good. Ingrid Newkirk is actually so fucking boring. God. Get a fucking real problem, dude. I
think you've actually talked about it more online than I have. Yeah.
Oh, online, yes, of course. I used to get into way back when MySpace was a thing. It was like, I'm glad that veganism is like very, it's so normalized now that it's almost like I'm more surprised when someone does eat meat at this point than I am when they don't. But I also don't give a shit.
Someone who's like our age, yeah.
Yeah. They're our age and they eat meat and they do a bunch of stuff like that. But I couldn't imagine fucking caring at all. I couldn't imagine caring. And I think at this point I care about individual people's lives more than I do the idea that we can all collectively save the planet, because we won't do that. We would all have to come together, in some giant, and that's not going to happen with veganism alone.
People are historically terrible at coming together.
We can't do it.
But
to expect us to do that,
I also,
come on, that's not going to happen.
I still recycle, even though that's fucking pointless.
Absolutely pointless to recycle, and I do it every day. Of course,
I still religiously
it's like
do
not
it.
even a Band-Aid. Like, it's worse than a Band-Aid. I think it's a drawing of a Band-Aid that you're putting over a wound.
You just circled around your cut. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing that people don't realize either, is that recycle is the last step in that reduce, reuse, recycle, and reduce is the most important. People I feel like things just become a meme online, like plastic straws are just a giant environmental meme at this point. So now everybody cares about plastic suddenly, and it's great. Obviously we should really care about plastic. It's ruining the environment. We should care, but they're pouring it all into that one thing. and into nothing else and not giving a shit about anything. And it's because it's a trendy thing to do, you know. Veganism is the same, and it was back then, and I felt very cool being a vegan. I'm not vegan anymore. I don't eat meat.
I didn't know. Back in the MySpace days, I knew one person who was a vegan.
Wasn't it?
And it was
super
like his
rare?
whole personality. It was so fucking rare. Yeah, it was so rare that it was like he was the only one in like the realm of like the 3 towns around.
Yeah, and we're talking like 2000, like, you know, the 2000s. We're talking pre 2010s, you know.
Yeah.
2006, 7, 8.
Yeah. Like even being a vegetarian was like, oh, I get it. You're like a hippie.
Yeah. You're like Lisa.
That's cute.
That's cute.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you love animals, you know, whereas now it's like, no, it's like a political thing and an environment. And it's cool. And that's all very good, obviously. And yeah. But I went vegetarian a long time ago, and then slowly I became vegan. But during the course of me being vegetarian, every single person in my immediate family became vegan.
Right.
I've been vegetarian for years, but suddenly my brother did, and then he got my mum into it, and then my sister kind of got into it, and then my dad followed suit. He was also vegetarian, but he like stopped having dairy and eggs and stuff. Right. And all of a sudden I'm in a totally vegan family, and my brother particularly, but also my mum and my sister are very, very, very into the activism side of it. Whereas I'm kind of fucking lazy, I guess. I don't know. But
I wouldn't even call it lazy, because you do other forms of activism, you know? You care a lot more than they do about other issues that you're vocal about. And, you know, we it's not like we don't dedicate time and money to charitable causes, you know? But after years of focusing on animal rights, that I think, you know, I still think that you know, the modernization of food it was such an issue in or not the modernization, what I'm talking about, the industrialization of of food is the, I mean, I could still talk about it for a long time, but what I'm saying is that it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter in the individual lives of these people that are just trying to fucking get by, you know?
Yeah.
I was really far up my own ass when it comes, because I would get into these big debates with people about how I'm technically right. It's true. Slaughterhouses are fucking terrible. And the way that they're treating these animals are awful. They're just awful. And then the environmental impact on these things is bad. It's all bad. I still think that. But how many like lives did I change in being a preachy, up my own ass vegan?
Right. Yeah.
If the point was to be better than everyone else, then I sure accomplished that.
Then I won.
Yeah, I won, but it didn't benefit the world. Yeah.
No. No. Yeah, it benefited my own ego for sure.
And it did for a long time.
This is what I was going to say. My brother is the kind of vegan who goes to like animal saves, you know, stops trucks on the road full of chickens and like mourns them and stuff like that. He goes and like holds up placards in places and like tries to educate people. He hands out leaflets. He does all of this shit, but like when it comes to like one-on-one conversations, he's like, you can't shame people into it.
Right.
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
Like, not even just from like, well, it's egotistical, so you shouldn't do it, but from like a strategical point of view, he's like, it doesn't work.
No, the numbers are just bad.
it doesn't work. Just be like, well, I'm right and you're wrong. And the other person be like, well, fuck you then.
Then I don't give a fuck, because I know a ton of people who I'm just going to continue living like me and hating you.
Yeah, it doesn't work. That's not how you change people's minds at all. So it's just so counterproductive to be like that and have that attitude. But on how to deal with them, I guess just tell them that. I just be like, you're really not going to change anyone's mind like this.
Being
like,
abrasive,
if that's your goal,
does not.
You're not doing it.
It doesn't work. And I thought that it did, but it was more like it's true. A lot of the stuff that I was preaching was technically right, but even then, like within like there are many sides to everything. There are many sides to every little part. Like it's all very nuanced. And as a young person, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that learning about this thing, you can dedicate your life to it and still not know everything. We would rather take a little bit of what we know and share it with everybody because it's this very impressive fact. And we think that just knowing that fact is actually going to change anything when it doesn't. That's sort of like my biggest thing now that I'm older is that if it doesn't, even knowing about the horrible things that happen. Sorry, I'm not crying. There was spit actually in my throat. That happen in other countries.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Joe.
Knowing about the terrible and awful things that happen in other countries or just in the world and in society, I don't give a shit that you know that unless you're doing something about it. Sharing it with people is not going to fucking do anything. Pretending to care about it, I like to give my money and then not talk about it. Because realistically, there's not a lot that I can do other than to encourage other people to do the same or like use the Patreon money to do whatever we do with the Patreon money sometimes, right? But God, imagine making that I talk a lot of shit on people who like will share just 1,000 GoFundMes a day and not donate to any of them. Fuck you.
Yeah,
go fuck yourself. You're come on. That's performative. It's dumb. I hate it.
There's nothing I hate to see more than like a GoFundMe thing with like 47 retweets and no donations on it. Like,
congrats
you all
all.
are weak as fuck.
Yeah.
None of you had a $1.
Fuck you.
Fuck, man.
Get out of here. You sharing did nothing. All it did is it boosted how other people see you.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that, and that was a large part of being vegan. And people don't like to talk about this either, but I was one of those people who fell into the category of it became kind of a health concern, not veganism itself, but how I was living my life. I struggle with food, and I had for years prior to being vegan, and it was and still is very, very, very difficult for me to reach a specific amount of calories a day. If essentially everything you're eating, no fat, low calorie, just by and then on top of that, I couldn't eat very much food within a day because of my bad stomach. So if all of that food, if you're already eating much less than a person normally would, and all of that food happens to also be low calorie, but then I tried for years to fill it in. There has to be some vegan shake. There has to be something that I can get. So coconut oil. So that would just hurt my stomach more.
Unfortunately, you are riddled with the GERD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stomach is bad. So though I'm not passionate about it anymore. I just I'm not. How do you talk to another person about it?
I think you just I always think that with anything, with pretty much any issue, it's better to just do than tell.
Yes.
Like that's just good advice in general. It's better to do things than to speak about things. I
hate speaking about things. Yeah. Speaking about things has never. I don't think it's ever done anything. I actually don't think it's ever. Everyone I've ever seen talk about something online, I can trace that back to that person doing fucking nothing or doing a lot less than it looked like they were doing. You know?
Yeah.
Because, man, this is why I can't get into politics anymore. Now that I'm older, or at least like bigger politics, I can't stand these fucking like. How corny is it that we'll see people like our age, older than us, that would just reply to every tweet Trump has posted with something as if he's fucking reading it, dude. What a waste of time. Yeah. We get it. We all hate him. That doesn't make you special. What are you doing about like the problems within your neighborhood or some local charity or some go clean a park? You fucking these people consider themselves activists because they hate Trump. We all hate Trump, dude. Like it doesn't. Yeah. That does not make you special. I knew so many people that were actually just actively replying to him, quote tweeting these giant political figures, and for what? At the end of the day, for what? We know the answer. What is it? It's likes. It's likes online. For this perceived, this perception that you are smart and clever and anti-establishment and you're not doing anything. I have a massive dislike for people who don't do anything. And being preachy about veganism, it doesn't do anything. And I say this as someone who was very preachy for a long time. Here's a common example. Or here's a good example, I should say. It's not very common. It's common, but it's particular. Well, let's talk about what particular means. No, okay. Look at the definition of particular.
Get to the point. Jesus Christ.
So, I've seen many vegans target Beyond Beef, or Beyond as a brand. Beyond makes some of the best meat replacements that exist, right? They target Beyond, and they start telling everybody Beyond isn't vegan. And everyone starts freaking out, going, Beyond's not vegan. You eat it every day. How is it not vegan? I'm vegan. It's not vegan. Oh my God, how good. And then you look into it. No, they're saying that Beyond shouldn't be classified as vegan because within their testing process of trying to kind of A/B do a comparative,
to meat.
To try and get something as close to meat as they can or as they want to, their testers in their test kitchen have to cook and eat meat. These aren't vegans. They're, I don't know, they're scientists. They're food scientists. They're food testers. They're whatever. But because they have to resort to buying some meat at the grocery store, cooking a little bit up to see if we're getting close to it, not vegan. That is not a vegan product you're eating.
No.
I disagree with that entirely. And why are you trying to... What is the point of that?
No. There's no point to that. There's no point to that. No one leads a... No one brand, and much less person leads like a completely 100% ethical, vegan, blah, 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 you know. Fucking... Yeah, I don't know. It's like, you know, wheat isn't vegan because, like, lots and lots of field mice die in the fucking collection process in the field.
What's the point?
Like,
what point are you trying to get to? Is it that humans as mammals were supposed to be living naked on the beach and eating nothing but fruit? Okay. But I'm talking into a microphone right now. I'm wearing pants. So then what? So now what?
I wish you would.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's much better to do than to tell people. Like the you know, being preachy doesn't fucking convince anyone. It just satisfies your own ego. If you want to convince people, just, you know, show them that you're doing it and that you're doing it well and you're eating nice food and you're feeling good. That's the best convincing, I think. Yeah,
it's a frustrating topic for me too because I feel like it's the way. I feel like it's the smartest thing to do. I feel like a cruelty-free diet. How about just a plant-based, right?
Yeah.
Diet is so beneficial to somebody's health. It's so beneficial to. It's so beneficial to the environment. But God, to see people fumble it that hard to where just like Beyond Beef isn't vegan. What? Oh, well, you see, what I meant by that sensationalized fucking tweet was that it's like, oh, why would you do that? It feels very close to toxic, doesn't it? It feels very close to. There's something there in your head that's making you want to do that.
Pointless.
It's
needless.
People
love calling things out. Yeah, they love just scratching for something. It's yeah. I don't know. If you're pointing at how other people aren't perfect, then no one can, you know, do it to you, I think.
Maybe it's projection. Maybe who knows? For me, it was being 20. No, that was it.
That's a valid reason. Being 20 is a very valid reason to just be a little bit of a prick. Yeah. Yeah. We all are.
This is the last thing I'll say about it. When I was vegan, you would get a lot of meat eaters that would love to point out, no, you're not. Because did you know that the shoes that you wear, a particular byproduct of the laces, were actually derived from something that might come from a pig's soul? And I'm just like, damn, I guess you got me. But the answer to that was like, what's the answer to that? Like, they're telling me that because they feel bad. Probably justifiably because I made them feel bad. But they feel bad for not being vegan. And they think, well, this guy thinks he's so good, he's not even vegan.
I gotta point out some flaws, yeah.
But it doesn't mean that I shouldn't try. It shouldn't mean that people shouldn't do less. You know, that's what I always tell people. Hey, if you don't want to, you just eat less. Eat less meat. Like a lot less.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the idea of holding anyone to this, like, impossible, unattainable level of perfection when it comes to anything, you know, but it's just like, as long as everyone's... I think if you're trying at least a little bit, then you should feel okay, you know.
the idea years back, that I didn't agree with was they were saying because you can't achieve this unachievable perfection, don't even try. Even though trying, even just trying would have an immense impact on people's lives and the environment.
Yeah.
And I didn't agree with that at all. I thought that everybody should try.
Even just going halfway.
Yeah, everyone should go a quarter. Why not? So when they pointed that out to me, well, did you know that technically this or that, blah, blah, that sucked. But hearing it come from other vegans, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What is the point of this?
It's like, how have I got this coming from both ends of the spectrum? I've got meat eaters telling me I'm not doing enough, and vegans telling me I'm not doing enough. So there's no point. Like, come on. Yeah.
Some people like that exist. Give them time to grow up. Let them know it sucks. But maybe even don't if it'll just make them argue with you more. I would post some fucking long. Remember Last FM? Or Last FM, not Last FM. Ask.fm? Yeah. I just post paragraph after like essays, diatribes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How old were you when you stopped eating meat and stuff?
I got out of it like kind of slowly. I would just be like, I really need to, like, I tried drinking like goat's milk, and then I'm like, what am I doing? I'm drinking milk. Like, what the fuck is this? So I didn't do that. And then I think what I did for a long time is I stopped being so strict. Yeah. I stopped, hey, if this has a little bit of this in it, especially if somebody offered me food, I would be like, thank you, it's completely okay. And then my diet became really, really restricted. So I started probably 24, 25. I started to like introduce stuff like butter, eggs. Once a week I'd have veal. I eat frog every day now. Ostrich. I didn't mention
only
ostrich.
the legs though.
Only the frog legs.
Well, and only the ostrich egg, which is the size of
So when
my
I said
head.
egg, I meant ostrich and quail.
Oh, I meant the egg.
I only want the eggs to be as large as possible, as small as possible.
Well, very, very tiny.
The quail egg, I take
a
like
hummingbird
a pill.
egg.
Yeah, I take a little hummingbird egg like a pill, and the ostrich egg, I kind of hard boil it, and I fuck it.
Oh my god!
Of course I do.
Jesus Christ! Oh my god! I can't believe the total shift this has taken. Also, you didn't even answer my question.
What was the question?
You answered the opposite of my question. I was like, when did you stop eating meat? And you were like, well, this is when I started to eat butter again.
I didn't even hear. Sorry, I had both headphones off when you were talking. I've been reading your lips this whole time.
No, because I didn't know, like, because you mentioned, like, during the MySpace era, so you must have been, like, a teenager, right? That's pretty early. That feels
I was like
early.
17 probably when I stopped.
Oh my god, I feel like I don't know you at all.
I was like 17 when I stopped. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Amazing. Well, we talked about this for half an hour.
Whoops.
So
we probably only have time for, like, one more question, or we could just keep on complaining and then call it an episode, 15 minutes.
I love this person's like, how do you do a preachy vegan? I'm like, well, listen, we're not going to be preachy about it, but we're going to talk about it for a long time, so sell it.
Maybe my new preachy is complaining in the other. No, because I feel so neutral with it now. Like, I can't be, because I really don't care. Like, if a person is I used to, this is so embarrassing. A person would show me their food, just as a friend. Yeah. They'd be like, hey, like, look what I got. And I'd be like, you know what that animal had to go through? You know what that animal...
Oh no.
God.
Oh no.
We're so lucky as a society as a society to even have a choice to be vegan. Oh man.
That's so funny.
And I didn't, also what's funny is that I never God, when like a person would like talk to me about food deserts and they'd talk to me about this or that, it's too expensive. I'm like, if you just ate gruel every day, you'd be fine, Because in reality, it's true. You can get vegetables for cheap. You can get canned food and beans and rice and stuff. But that assumes people have, like, how often do I make beans from scratch? I famously never do because it's time consuming.
Yeah, but I've also never made beans from scratch in my entire life. But I did eat beans and rice a lot.
Right.
At certain points when I did live in a food desert area.
For sure.
And just pasta and sauce and stuff like that. Like, yeah.
But I'm saying if someone has the choice to eat food that they would rather eat in a food desert rather than, especially if they're not passionate about it. I'm always saying if you're passionate about it, there's a way you can do it. Because I did it when I didn't have money and I eat canned food and I did a bunch of stuff like that. But to expect other people to make that sacrifice when they don't have to, when they can just get chicken, a rotisserie chicken at a Costco.
Though to be fair, if you're at Costco, they for sure have Impossible Burgers there.
Yeah, for sure. But for how much?
But yeah.
Like for how much in comparison to the rotisserie chicken is what I'm saying. It's cheap. It's cheap food. It's very, very, very cheap food. I'm just at a place where I'm like, I am grateful to eat. And I think that there has to be a complete dismantling and a restructuring of how factory farming works from the ground up. It's evil. It's horrible. It's capitalistic and it's bad, right? But to shame the individual person as if they're just like, if you only stopped buying it, everything would change. No, it would take all of us.
Yeah.
And don't shame the one person for not changing. It was society that built that, you know? Yeah. You're just living in it.
Yeah. We do live in a society.
That's what they always say, and I'm starting to think they're right. As the
Joker said. Yeah. I'm starting to think Jared Leto Joker had a point. We do live in a society.
It's true. You can be vegan with the eating. They're like, dried beans and rice cost nothing. It's like cost time.
True.
Dried bean. I don't. Or it's true that I could eat those things, but now that I have the money to not, I'm buying like meat replacements that are not exactly cheap, and then I'm buying all the, it's nicer to have like Just Egg and to have Beyond Meat and Morningstar and stuff like that.
It's also like, it's convenient too. Over here, we've got a ton of really cheap vegan stuff. Over there, it's a
lot more expensive over here for vegan food. But like when you do shopping and I actually watch you, you'll like screen share and go, what's the Sainsbury?
I do go to Sainsbury's, yeah.
It always reminds me of Salisbury.
Sainsbury's.
Sainsbury's. You think Sainsbury has a Salisbury steak?
Well, Salisbury is a place in England.
Oh, they must then. Imagine a Salisbury steak made of, sorry, I'm getting hungry, ostrich.
He's hungry.
I'm craving ostrich right now. Well, I don't eat meat. And by meat, I mean like non-exotic meat.
I mean like red meat. I eat delicious white meat of an ostrich.
Or a gator. I eat gator.
Green meat.
Yeah.
I eat reptile.
Yeah, they don't have souls. Someone has to eat them. They're fucking evil.
Yeah. I eat fucking, what's it? Mollusks?
Mollusks, yeah.
Of course.
Like a snail, yeah.
Yeah.
Not just your common snail. Sea snails. Or giant snails. You ever had a snail steak? It's fantastic.
Stop.
Don't put salt on it, though. It shrivels up.
Turns into nothing. Shrivels up like a raisin.
And then you have there is snail jerky.
What you've got there is just concentrated pure snail flavor.
There you go. It's fantastic. Slice that up, put it on pizza. Veal pizza.
A little capo. Stop. Oh my god.
We did a whole episode talking about vegan stuff, and I'm so sorry about it.
Do you want to know something funny?
Yeah, we have like some time to talk still, right?
I'd never considered dried beans until literally about maybe 3 years
right,
ago.
But you're from over there where a can of Heinz beans is like it's like an apple, It's just you just have one a day,
Yeah, I'd chuck them back. Yeah. No, I obviously live on Heinz baked beans, yes, but no, but even like just cooking with like, I would. Most of my meals would just be like chuck a can of chickpeas in, a can of kidney beans, a can of lima beans, some butter beans, blah, blah, blah. Just chucking canned stuff in all the time. I didn't even think that, like, when I first saw a dried bean, I was like, this is how they come out of the ground.
What is this hard little thing?
Like,
this is a pebble.
I thought they were like a pea. I thought they were soft, like a pea. No, No,
they're super.
I didn't know that.
You have to sort them.
Yeah.
You have to wash them, and then you have to soak them overnight. And then if you're smart, you change the water after that.
Oh my god.
And then
there he is, bean expert jumping in.
I've only ever like made beans from scratch probably 5 times in my life. Like at least all by myself. My dad used to do it all the time. Yeah, I mean he's done it countless
you've
had them
times.
Made
in the house
and I would help.
Yeah.
I would like sort the beans and stuff, but you also have to like
I
have to set an alarm and wake up for it, and if you leave it for too long, I'm just like very particular about food. Canned food feels so sterile in a good way to me, though.
Will you tell the story about you having to sort the beans?
Which one? Like when I was with Nikki?
Which one out of the 5 times? Like,
it was just a thing that she still talks about now where she just found it really, really funny that it was like, I don't celebrate my birthday ever. And she was like, oh, it's your birthday on, this day on a Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And this is like when me and Nikki were dating. God, I miss her. And she was like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I was like, I don't celebrate. I don't do anything like that. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I didn't want to do anything. Just make it a super, super normal day. And she was just like, okay. And she was like writing stuff in my calendar because I had like a calendar on the wall. And she was like, okay.
Yeah, a little
yeah.
to-do
And she
list.
was like, we have to sort the beans. And then she kind of writes that there. And I kind of stop her. And I was like, I don't want to sort the beans on my birthday. Like, I want that to be the one thing I don't do on my birthday is have to pick bean by bean and find pebbles. That would
sort through each and every bean in a thing.
I'm particular with my beans. I don't want any dirt clods in it.
So you're just like, so there is, it is special. You don't just want to know.
Well, for my birthday, I don't want to sort the beans.
I don't want to sort the beans. No, of course I don't want to sort the beans.
She'll still like occasionally text me and be like, I'm still thinking about how funny it was when you didn't want to sort the beans on your birthday. Like that was your one request.
That's your one treat.
Please don't make me
present.
do it. I want the beans, but I don't want to sort them.
I don't. Just pretend it's not even my birthday at all. So, okay, so
I'm going to sort the fucking beans on my birthday.
What? On my birthday?
The day of my birth? You're going to make me sort beans like it's the 1800s? No way. Absolutely, I'm not going to find pebbles for you. No, you sort the beans. You make the beans, and then I'll have beans as my birthday cake.
Here's my theory. I wouldn't bother sorting the beans. I'm just going to chuck them in the pot because any dirt
will dissolve. You're right.
Dirt's going to turn into just mud in the
But what
water.
about
That's
a
fine.
little molar crunching pebble?
Pebble? Sink to the bottom of the beans. Fine.
Not all, but beans don't float. At least not all of them. Some of them do.
Oh, do they not?
God, you still don't know what a bean is. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
They will sink to the bottom.
Okay.
We're talking pinto?
Right, well
We're talking
then.
pinto here? Some float, some don't. As they say.
Okay.
The ones that do float, actually... Some people say the ones that do float have a little bit of air in them, so you have to watch out for bugs, too. So maybe a little bug crawled through it, ate its way through that bean, and that's why it's floating. So some people will actually scoop out the beans that are floating and toss them.
I want to scoop out the beans that are floating and eat only those ones.
Kind of put them aside.
Yeah, that sweet bug meat.
We're talking about protein here.
That's where the protein comes from, yeah. It's in the tiny
you think
little
you're
worms you find in
vegan?
the
Because
bean.
you eating beans, all that stuff? What's another one? Figs? You think you're eating figs? Nah. Figs are all bugs. Every fig seed is a larva. That's what you're eating with a fig.
I've never eaten a fig, and I'm
You've
scared
never had
to.
a fig?
I've never eaten a fig.
They're
in my
delicious.
life. I live a sheltered life here in England. Actually, that's not true because like my friends who make like very cool and beautiful erotic art, they're eating figs
Of course,
all the
they're
time.
fingering figs all the time.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they're actually eating
No.
them. I think mostly they're just like placing them in front of their vulvas.
No, yeah, they're doing the whole...
I don't know if any of them have ever
They're
eaten
giving
one.
them the old ostrich egg treatment, as they say.
That's not what anyone says. I've never eaten a fig. I've never eaten a pomegranate either. Sad but
Those are
true.
two great things.
I know. Dragon fruit? No.
You never had dragon fruit either?
I've never had dragon fruit.
We used to grow dragon fruit at the old house.
What?
Yes, there was a tree outside.
Why didn't you give me one?
Well, there wasn't it more goes up like a, it's not really, anyway, it was not like a giant tree, but we had dragon fruit growing on the property.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I only had a papaya when you gave one to me.
That was your first time having a papaya?
You know that was my first time having a papaya.
I don't. Like, my headphone is not on when you talk. I understand why you can't.
Even in person, it's
like,
not.
Is yours? Yeah, I put headphones on when you talk in person. It's the exact opposite.
So when we were sitting outside eating the papaya, I was like, "Wow, this is my first papaya," and you were just like,
I had
an ICP song.
Yeah, I had AirPods in that are. I actually have these special AirPods that I painted to be flesh colored. I actually paint them to look like the inside of my ear.
Crazy.
So you can only tell if you're looking at me from a certain angle that they're sticking out. Yeah, that's how I get by. There is a thing though where figs. Mm-hmm. There has something to do with a bug. So if anybody's interested, you could just Google it. Yeah, there's like a certain type of wasp.
Yeah, they go in there
and lay eggs.
Die.
They die.
Yeah.
In every fig I've ever eaten.
I think it's only a certain kind.
A certain kind of wasp or a certain kind of fig I've eaten?
Both.
Jesus. Because we used to have... Okay, my life is going to sound all lush now. We used to have a fig tree, too.
Oh,
not at that property, but in the avocado and citrus grove that I
Jesus
grew
Christ.
up in Fallbrook, yeah. My dad managed this beautiful property. And before you call me rich, just know I prefer the term wealthy.
No, I prefer the term old money.
No, we were always poor as shit, but my dad managed one. We had a shitty trailer, like a double wide trailer on this giant property. But it was there. I should talk about this place more on the podcast sometime. We're just like speaking.
It sounds crazy. Yeah.
It was amazing. It was this rich couple that ended up breaking up eventually. That's why we had to move. My father was the property manager. So he managed that whole grove. He actually converted. He did so much cool shit there. He built like a tree fort. He was a handyman. That's how I made a lot of my money too as a teenager. I would just like clean their pool. I was a little pool boy. And they were only ever there maybe one weekend out of the month, maybe. Mm-hmm. But their giant house on the property, we had the keys to. They had 2 golf carts on the property.
Golf carts?
Golf carts on the property.
What?
We would just be. There was a tennis court on the property. My teenage years rocked because of that. That's actually where I started Flat Sound.
That's crazy.
Every day, golf carts, just going through avocado groves, picking oranges, and there was a fig tree right next to where our house was, so you can pick figs from this giant deck that my dad made. So you would stand on the deck, pick figs, and just eat them.
Amazing.
Just fresh wasps right there whenever you want them. Crunch, crunch.
Fresh wasps. If you're lucky, there's still a little sting to them.
Ooh, this is a spicy fig. I think I'm allergic to figs. Like, you're allergic to bees.
Bee stings.
Stop eating this thing.
Your nose is swollen up like a dog's.
That's funny.
You see when a dog eats a bee?
Yes, and it's like it's all his whole snout. Yeah, gets all fat.
That's how I'm imagining you.
My snout is long and fat. I look like Goofy, yeah.
Amazing. Well, we didn't answer any other questions.
We didn't. Thank you for letting us go on a tangent, though.
That's really funny of us, I think.
I wasn't in the mood to record anyway. We were like, should we do a lightning round on Discord? Should we do? Let's pick these other things. And we were just picking that vegan one as a start question, but. I do just love talking to you about anything.
Yeah, that's the issue. That's
like
the
you
thing.
could just say like an email that just says like shoes, and we'll just be like,
Go
okay,
off on it.
All right,
yeah.
Well, me and Billy, this is actually a funny thing.
Don't even joke about that because I want to start telling you a story
about shoes, right?
Yeah.
See, this is why having a podcast with you is super easy. How are we consistent every single week? We never miss, baby. We don't miss a beat. It's just because I could talk to you about anything.
It's true.
Talk to you about anything.
And we do. Was it yesterday that we had 3 separate very long phone calls?
Yeah, or maybe the day before.
Yeah, we spent like 2-3 hours playing D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had a little break. Yeah. And then we came back and spent about 2 hours doing some work on your stuff, writing some Patreon posts and stuff. And then I went to sleep. I woke up and we spoke for like a few more hours before.
Well, that's how I prefer it, because when you're here, I can't imagine couples who just like don't have that much to talk about. Mm-hmm. Because for years, every time you would come and stay here, we don't really spend time apart, you know?
Yeah.
We go and do our separate things, like work related, if I have to record or if I have to do anything like that. But like we are just together and talking about something all the time. Talk. And then we're staying up late every single night talking, or playing a game and talking and joking about this and talking.
Yep.
A podcast just made sense.
Of course, yeah.
It's a necessity, really.
Just simply turn a microphone on for 1 hour of this a week.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
But with that said, this has been All Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
My name has been Billy Blossom. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I was just going on a fucking tangent for nearly an hour. That was cool.
What do you think the episode title should be, by the way? Because I'm thinking about just calling it Beans.
I think that's really good.
Can I just call it Beans?
Call it Beans.
All right,
yeah.
fuck it. Beans.
Beans.
Let's see what my boys have to think about that one. Yo, Chad, you think it should be called Beans? Okay,
I forgot.
Fuck yeah, Brian, Beans. Because they know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, hoorah.
Yeah, the clitoris is what I'm talking about.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Flicking the old, I'm not going to say.
Oh, I hate that term. It's so old.
One time at a bus stop when I was like too young to be asked this. Though to be fair, there's never a good age to be asked this question. A boy came up to me who lived on my street at the bus stop in front of loads of people and asked me if I flicked my bean. And I didn't know what the fuck that meant. I was like, I never heard that term before. And he explained,
like, I don't know,
like, get
maybe.
away from me.
Fuck if I know what it means.
I don't know what
he
you're talking
explained
about.
it after?
Yeah.
Show me this boy.
He was bad. I'll give you his address after. It's fine.
Fuck him.
Yeah, send him hate mail.
Yeah, that's the... Assuming you guys were like young and he was an actual boy, that's just like totally one of those things you just like hear your stepdad say. And then you're like, yeah, this is how people talk my age. And then you just go and like repeat it, and then some teacher overhears you. He's like, stop, that's from a completely different generation.
Ew.
Stop it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Disgusting.
Don't talk like a 40-year-old man.
Don't talk like a 40-year-old pervert, please.
No.
That's something that old men say in chat rooms. Stop it.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Yeah, that's really bad. I've always absolutely hated the term jilling off instead of jacking off.
Well, I do like the band Jack Off Jill, though.
Jack Off Jill is a great band name.
Good.
But I'm saying people in all seriousness, when they just say jilling off.
Yeah, no,
isn't that,
good.
Ooh,
no.
It just makes my skin crawl. I hate it.
Yeah, there's no need to... Jack is gender neutral.
That's
my
take. Jacking off is gender neutral for sure.
Jacking it is gender neutral. Jacking it is gender neutral is a great tweet that I might make later.
Jacking it is gender neutral?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. You better decide if you're going to do that in the next few hours, because if you haven't done it yet, I know that some fucker listening to this is gonna gonna say it, so that when you post, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, look at that! I guess Billy stole my fucking tweet."
Okay, I'll post it when we stop recording.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The quick plugs. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been all Mitch. That was Billy. Something. If you have a question that you want us to answer on the show, we do have an email that we would like you to send emails to. Anything relating to art or shoes. We still want to talk about shoes.
Someone please ask us the shoe question.
Just start sending us email that's just say like frogs or something, you know?
Yeah.
Shoes, frogs, 5th grade. And it's like, oh, okay, well in 5th grade, you know,
give us prompts.
Just something will go off forever. I could still we spoke for like 2.5 hours before we even hit record, even.
We did.
We were just chatting.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
we're insufferable.
It's disgusting to me. If you want to send us an email, we got a very convenient email, kind of long but very good. You can send us an email. Our email is
allthespaceinbetween@gmail.com. And if you like this episode, you know what you can do?
What is it?
You share it with your friends and family and loved ones.
The episode's growing. I mean, the episode's growing. This episode, it's getting bigger.
This episode is going viral.
Oh my god! I start surfing a wave. We're going viral as we speak.
Surfing the wave of the web.
The show is growing, is what I was going to say.
Yeah, it is.
Our episodes are just getting more and more plays per every time we do it. Gradually, sometimes one will peak up, and our bottom is going really good too. Like the least amount of plays we get in a week is just going up. Yeah, it's actually fantastic.
It's actually
looking.
kind of a power bomb.
Yeah,
if you can
it's a powerful little. Power bomb is a good way to put it. Yeah. So we hardly ever post about the show, so it's got to be all you guys, and we thank you for it. But if you haven't suggested the show yet, please do that to your friends. It really helps us grow.
Yeah. We're obviously on Spotify and iTunes, and you know that because you're listening to us somewhere. You're listening to us right now, so wherever you are, we're there. But if you want somewhere to send other people, then they can get all of our links and listen to all of our episodes at our website, which is
allthespaceinbetween.com. Very easy to remember. I'm gonna feed you a fig. Is that cool? Or are you scared of the wasp thing?
Yes.
It's not technically vegan now.
But yes. Breakage for that.
A fig. I want to feed you a. What's the other thing?
Pomegranate.
A pomegranate. Pomegranates and figs. I don't think they go that good together. But I'm gonna feed you a fig when you come into the country. That's what I'm gonna do.
Can't wait for you to just serve me a little platter that just looks like a Renaissance still life.
That's a little. You're like, I'm not gonna eat all this cheese. What is this? This weird cheese. New episodes every Monday. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.